You're watching Medically Speaking on NewsX, and I am Meenakshi Upreti. This is World's Mental Health Awareness Month, and I'd like to welcome a very special guest, Shrishti Asthana. She's from the Mental Health Foundation of India. Thank you, Shrishti, for joining us on the broadcast. Very few quick questions. First of all, help us understand what your organization is all about, what you all do, and the significance really of mental health.
All right. So thank you for having me. And Mental Health Foundation India is one of the is I would say that it's the leading NGO in the mental health sector. We've been around since a very long time, or almost 20 years now. And in the time, we have taken up a lot of projects that are mental health centric that allow accessibility to individuals of all sections, all parts of the society from all geographical areas. And apart from that, Mental Health Foundation was also the organization that decriminalized suicide in the country. So that is one of the landmark achievements from our NGOs, I would say, because unfortunately the case was that earlier when, let's say, if an individual had severe depression or life was, they were going through a very, very difficult period of their life and they were being tested. And if they got suicidal, so if they had suicidal behavior, what would happen is they were already demotivated, they were already disinterested in life, they would attempt suicide. And if they survived by any chance, they would be taken to jail. And if when they went to jail, that environment further pushed them into completing the attempt through various means inside the jail. So it was really because the mental health aspect of it is has been lesser known. Uh, Mental Health Foundation India and our leader, one of our prominent leaders, Dr. Sujata Minhas, she took the charge, and then uh, we drove the entire initiative.
Right. Just tell us a little more about, as I said, the significance of mental health, because there's a lot of misinformation regarding the same. Many still till date believe that mental health is frivolous. It has obviously physical manifestations. Difficult for someone suffering also to open up about what they are going through. Take us through how important it is to identify and signify the symptoms and open a channel of conversation.
Mental health is one of those subjects that is really complex and also simple at the same time. That's the beauty of it. A lot of stigma and misunderstanding is prevalent in the society where I've seen two extremes. One is, oh, I've heard this a lot. Depression to amiro ki bimari hai. This is something that we get to hear in casual conversations in society. So this kind of a thought process is problematic because depression is very much a biological illness as well. It is not just it's not just a passing phase. There are a lot of neurochemical factors that uh, go into the development of a disease. There are biopsychosocial factors, so the biological factors that make an individual more susceptible to a disorder. Then there are the psychological factors, their belief systems, outlook, etc. And then there are the social factors, how supported they are, how isolated they are, etc. All these things push an individual into developing certain illnesses or certain symptoms or certain issues. So people tend to totally discount the biological aspect, and they also think of the psychological aspect to be irrelevant. So there are a lot of when we look at illnesses like let's say migraine, or I have a back pain, I don't know why, doctors have said ki it is we don't know why it is happening. These are somatic illnesses. So where are these coming from? These are all very deeply connected to our mental health and our psychological well-being. And when we are not in the state of good mental health, then it will start manifesting as physical symptoms, and physiological symptoms are very much behavioral manifestations of mental health illnesses. That is also something that we get to see very much.
Right.
This is one extreme, right? Amiro ki bimari hai, which is a problematic statement.
Which is, yes, a problematic mindset. But just taking it forward, help us understand the significance of communication. What can someone or people around, someone who's perhaps depressed or going through mental health issues do to help them? And where do organizations like yours come in? When should one go to a counselor? When should you escalate it further and go to a psychiatrist? Help us understand a little more on that.
Okay. So the system is such that if you go to any professional and if they feel that you are better suited to see another professional, they will bring that professional in. So, like, let's say you go to a counseling psychologist and the individual feels that you need medical help as well, they will refer you to a psychiatrist. That is by default the system. And with Mental Health Foundation, people can access help at very, very, very nominal and affordable rates at our platform called My Hope. My Hope is an initiative where we handpick the professionals very, very carefully, not just their degrees and qualifications, but also mental health is one thing where psychologists need to have a certain temperament. They need to
Right.
have a certain, thing in their personality which makes them very well suited for the profession and very well suited to bring a difference in the lives. So the professionals are very carefully picked, and the pricing is very, very nominal and affordable. So definitely, this is one of
Right.
the
So
initiatives
nominal
through
pricing,
which,
affording and accessibility, right, is what you are providing them. Last question then, what's the message you'd like to give to the people perhaps watching the show on this mental awareness month? Anything you'd like to say to the viewers watching?
I would just like to say that, just like when there is toothache, there is no, like, you don't think twice before going and seeing a dentist. But actually, in our country, people think twice before even seeing a dentist. They're like, क्या होगा बुरा से बुरा दांत में दर्द ही तो है, and then suddenly they go and they realize that they have to get a whole surgery done because they postponed a minor treatment so much that it's led to something major. So in a similar manner, I would say just don't wait for an extreme circumstance. There's always help available where you can process your life's events, the stressful aspects of your life in a very healthy and positive manner, in a balanced manner, so that it doesn't impact your emotional, mental, or physical health in the longer run.
Correct.
If you immediately address it in the correct manner, you are going towards the side of health and balance.
Right. So
Yeah.
early diagnosis, recognizing your symptoms and reaching out to a professional at the earliest. That's the message coming from your side, Trishti. At this point of time, thank you so much for taking all the time and speaking to NewsX.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.